Hello, I'm Caydor.
And I'm Integer.
This is Caydor, Swordmage, Quickguide, Part 6.
And that's an inventory.
Yes, I think I briefly show you what I have equipped, possibly.
You get a general idea of it anyway.
Yep. And in this part we fight a guy who, for some reason, uses no shield, which means he's clearly outmatched by the power of magic. And fight our way up to, and I believe, take on the rooftop gargoyles.
We call them rooftop gargoyles because they're not the only ones.
Well, most of them appear on rooftops. That seems to be their shtick.
There was definitely one on a causeway.
But it was on the roof of the causeway, so...
I wonder what was under the causeway now.
No telling. That part's much later, and I don't remember if I go looking underneath.
I hope you do. Now I'm curious.
You know, I definitely prefer the Swiss cheeses over the cheddar ones.
Me too. There's this there's a 4-cheese blend. Forgot where we got it, but we only had like one box of it. That was the best ones.
Yeah. There's several ways you can take on this guy up here. I don't know if I take him on first or if I decide to take on those guys over there. I think I take him on first, and as Integer keeps pointing out to me, if you go stand where the Black Knight I fought a couple videos ago was, you can shoot him without interruption, as he never manages to hit you. But I use a pillar over here to kind of put him, because a lot of spells tend to pull a little to the left or his right, and so if you get the pillar that lined up, you can hit him. But I think I try to get close and see if I can hit him with either hitting him with a spell, or I'm wanting to take them on first.
And you're trying to aim at him. It was not working.
Nah, the aim is weird here. You might be able to get it off, because I can sometimes. But you risk getting a little close to the guy down there. And I just moved out in case one of them decided to follow me.
Just in case.
And naturally he did. Because it's a lot easier to fight on the ground level. You don't have to risk having them coming after you.
Keep in mind not to swing like a drunken sailor.
And normally I'm much better at fighting these guys, but this is what happens when you've been up 12 hours and try to play Dark Souls.
No. What happens when you've been up for 12 hours and try to play Dark Souls is an entirely faith-based character using nothing but intelligence-based weapons that are all too big for his strength level, because you've been upping your endurance.
You also end up falling off cliffs that should have been a mile away, and other odd things. Now, as you can see, they actually die pretty easily to spells. And I think I hit one, and the other one was alerted to my presence, so I just had to...
But as you can see, we're also pretty easily killed by spells.
Yep, and I haven't even picked up that crown that increases your damage, but increases the amount you take. Too bad I can't pick up the sign of the Atronach, so I just absorb the spell as spell points.
That'd be great.
Also, I wouldn't suggest trying to play Oblivion after Dark Souls or Elder Scrolls after Dark Souls or Dark Souls after Elder Scrolls, especially Skyrim, because a lot of the controls are so backwards that you tend to get a lot of buttons wrong. Can't tell you how many times I was hitting start to try to break up the inventory in Skyrim.
Anyways, version number 2, the where you just stand back and shoot him with your bow. He forgot to mention one minor detail. When you do this, try to hit him in the head a few times, because it will always stagger him. He will never get a spell off if you do so.
I didn't figure that out till much later in the game, and my aim was still a tad bit off here. The only reason I can hit him this time is because I was only clicking over once and back once without moving my crosshairs up or down. Rectical, that's the word I was looking for, because it's not quite the cross. But if you're not aware, that was an alluring skull, and they naturally come join the party. And I don't do this my second time through, because I wanted to save the skulls, but I just thought I'd share that with you. Because if you're skilled enough with the pig, you don't waste an extra 1 or 2 throwing it directly at him.
Yeah, because, like we said earlier, you wanted to throw it like 5 feet from you, not 5 feet from him.
This is true. Now, there's a guy up the stairs, which is why I'm equipping the Drake sword. And I don't want to risk accidentally using the skull, so I think I just switched to whatever. I'm not sure if I think I went with the black fire bombs, because they act sort of like the backup fireballs.
Alright, so here's some stairs and some pillars.
Don't run into the pillars.
It's kind of funny when you do, but kind of sad at the same time.
But the way this game works, you can just blame it on the pathing. And as you can see, and what I forgot the first time through, is due to the way the texture works here, it will never run up the stairs for you, it just runs along the bottom of the ground underneath the stairs.
Which is technically impossible both ways.
Yeah. So you have to lower him back down to the ground to hit him with the Drake sword. You can just hit him with a spell, but I was trying to save it because I wasn't sure how many I was going to need to murder this golden guy later.
That's right, a golden guy. I have nicknamed him, but I cannot share the nickname.
Yes, even though I know this room should be entirely clear, I'm approaching it slowly.
With a shield up.
Because that's how you should play the entire game.
You should form a special bond with your shield.
Or at least the shield button. Even if you're using a sword in your offhand, you should have the shield button, because even though it doesn't block a lot of damage, it will block a little bit.
Well, there's some great swords that have a pretty good damage reduction.
But that's because they're about as white as the shield.
Yes. Yes, they are. Alright, there's a treasure in that room.
And for once, I actually go pick it up.
It surprised me too, don't worry.
But it is a soul, and I don't think I missed too many souls that were right along the path.
I think you're enjoying those too much.
The Swiss, not the cheddar. If you stick it over there, I may stop enjoying them.
Well, I never said you couldn't enjoy them, did I?
Well, I keep trying to stop, but...
Oh.
Because I find it kind of rude to eat on audio.
Here's humanity. Wasted on Helm, good for everybody else.
I was about to say, that guy had humanity on him, but due to the fact that he had no clothes and was stuffed in a barrel, I'm guessing he had no dignity left. That is the wrong door. And I was just showing you there was the wrong door, and I wasn't just swinging at the wrong door, because I had been up for 16 hours at this point.
Totally.
And I approached cautiously, because for some reason I was thinking there was one more knight in here, but there's not. Just the golden guy in the cell. And...
Unless, of course, you missed a knight earlier, and managed to lure him this far.
Yeah. And to open this door, you need a key. We picked up a couple videos back. It's past where you run into a lot of the pinkmen. There's one guarding a corpse with a key off to the side in the back of the room with a ladder and some tables.
It is called the Mystery Key.
Yep, as you see. Because the master key doesn't work on this door. Now, normally, you free him. You can use him to fight the gargoyles later if you go back to Firelink Shrine and talk to him there. But he drops a ring, and the ring is useful for a build that doesn't up armor or health all that much.
Yes, it's also useful for every other build.
Yes, but a lot of builds can get by with not getting it until after he murders the very useful Firekeeper at the shrine, because if you kill them there, you do get the... You have to fight him in Anolondo. You get the Firekeeper's soul back, and you get a couple of extra nice items for going through the effort. On my build, you can do that on the second playthrough.
You get a souvenir of reprisal, 3 humanities, ring of favor and protection, and a few extra souls because he has 2 buddies.
Yep, and the buddies may or may not drop something else.
They do not drop something. Well, they give you soul.
You need it.
Well, I think they can occasionally drop something, just about like everyone else.
That is entirely possible, but I've never gotten them to drop anything.
And I think I finished upgrading, what was it, the longbow here. Because in a video or 2 back, I finished upgrading the Uji Katana.
Yes. Yes, he did.
And I don't know what I was showing you there.
Neither do I, but you wanted to show it, so you showed it.
There's a method to my madness, I've just forgotten it.
Hence, no method.
Well, that doesn't mean it's not there.
Means it's missing.
It's not missing, it's just misplaced.
Missing.
Don't get yourself killed.
Inaction.
It's not missing, but it's definitely an action. It's like the wind, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
If the guy blowing on the sail can't be seen blowing on the sail, he's probably not. And this gets into a deep philosophical debate over theology, which we will not get into right now, because that could cause all sorts of mayhem.
Yes. The only thing you need to know is after you kill the golden guy, even if you don't feel like upgrading your longbow, I would suggest going back and getting your spells, because it's handy in that mage guy doesn't show back up. You get to a part in the game later where they show back up. And I think I included this clip because I get a pretty nice backfill on this guy. So much blood. So glorious.
I wish some of the hits would stay visible.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know, like you could still see the puncture wound in his back, or...
And because you don't need to get close enough to bother with the mage guy, you don't actually need to fight the guys on those ends. You can if you want to, but to save spells, I just go up here and shoot this guy instead of trying to kite him and use the Drake Sword. I think after this, I don't really use the Drake Sword all that much unless I run out of spells or I need to save spells.
Which isn't all that often, because big enemies are few and far between, and there's plenty of bonfires to interject away.
Yep.
I hope I use that word right.
Odd use, but it seems correct.
I can never remember what interjection is.
Well, it's kind of like put in the middle of.
That seems about right, yeah.
It's just there's a fine line between interruption and interjection. Interjection usually has something to do with it, while interrupt can be, like, completely off the wall, or at least to me.
So an interjection can be something helpful?
Yeah, it generally is. Like if someone says, let me interject here, they'll generally include something that kind of clarifies what the other person was saying if they were confused, while an interruption is, I don't care what you have to say, I have something more important to say. Or at least that's how I see it. Maybe people out there who use either kind of wantonly.
Alright.
Clearly, based on the running time, this is going to be a epic and climactic fight.
Or not. But it is a epic cinematic.
Yep.
One of my favorites in the game. Even though it's actually very terrible. For, you know, everything else in the game.
Yeah. I wonder if those are the friendly kind of gargoyles, like Goliath. Maybe we can team up to go fight Thanatos.
I'm going to assume no.
Considering he just tried to murder me with an axe. A new challenger has entered the ring. Will he be of help to his friend? Oh no, it looks like his friend is dead. He's across the rooftop. And normally this guy breathes fire, but I'm pretty sure I murdered him before he gets that chance.
You saw the red? That was fire. Normally, if you're close to halfway down the roof like you ought to be, he'll breathe fire the instant he touches the ground. But we were backed up quite a bit, so that did not happen.
And he did manage to get a flame off, but I'm using the fire resistant shield, so.
Which is helpful because you had your shield down.
And
that
was our Swordmage Quickguide.
Volume
6.
Check us out at adventuresinrandom.com.
Yes, adventuresinrandom.com.
We're not spelling it today.
And of course, you can find us on my YouTube channel at Caydor. Just Caydor.
Just Caydor. You can find us on Facebook at Adventures in Random on Facebook.
Yep. Though there's a couple of Adventures in Random page, so.
We're the ones with the dual mask. Don't worry, I'm working on a new picture. It's not going so hot.
He is an artist. He's being picky about it.
Yes, every stinking little flaw. Hey, erase, try again. Erase, try again. Erase, try again.
So at this point, your original picture is just a bunch of eraser marks?
At this point, the original picture is just gray. Either I gave up and it's all eraser marks, or I gave up and scribbled it all out.
Goodbye.